Hi, this is Jan Yuvan. Let's talk about Trikonasana and some of the common misalignments that we see in the posture and how we can work to correct them. All right, so let's build Trikonasana from the ground up, right? Let's begin with the feet, and so the back foot is about parallel with the back edge of your mat, maybe slightly turned forward. The front foot is pointed directly forward. If the front foot extended back, it would bisect that back foot, yeah? The legs are straight, but soften the front knee. So when I say soften, I mean just unlock it. So if you have a tendency toward hyperextension, just give it a little micro bend, again, just so it's unlocked. What that does is it protects the joint and also helps to activate the muscles in the leg, which we want to do to help build strength and protection for the joints. So the hips are more or less oriented in a linear direction, so hips open. There's going to be a slight turn forward. Most of us don't have the mobility to have that completely like pane of glass sort of on either side sort of orientation. So don't worry if that front hip, that back hip kind of turns forward just a little bit. So the front hips are going to drop. The front hip drops down. The back hip is going to reach back. So the hips and the torso remain in the same orientation. Yeah? So sometimes, and again, a common misalignment is seeing this rounding happening at the waist, right, as we come forward into Trikonasana. So we don't want to see that. What we want to see is the hips and the torso operating as a unit, yeah? As you rotate, that front hip dropping down, the back hip reaching back, yeah? I like to extend the front arm out to the side, yeah? So get that elongation in the bottom side. In my case, it's my left side body, right? Extending out, getting that length in the body, and then allowing the arms to rotate, right? Bottom arm down, top arm up. It's perfectly okay to rest your hand somewhere. It can be on your leg if you like to use a block. That's fine too. But I encourage my students not to lean into it, not just to kind of relax there, right? So now I've just let go of all of these muscles here because I'm leaning completely into my leg here, right? So my hand is resting there, but I still want to lift up and out, yeah? So I want to activate these muscles of the side bodies, obliques, to support me, yeah? Another common tendency is for the shoulder to kind of want to rotate inward. Some folks want to get a little bit deeper so that shoulder rotates inward to allow the hand to come a little bit closer to the mat. Don't worry about where this bottom hand is. It can be at the knee, it can be at the shin, it can be at the floor if you've got that mobility, but don't worry about that. But keep this postural, this upper body alignment intact. Keep the integrity there. So instead of rotating the shoulder forward in this direction, we want to rotate it back, right? Opening the chest, at the same time opening and expanding the upper back. So we've got this external rotation happening in the shoulder, right? Very important. And I like to reach up and come back to upright, yeah? Just to switch things around, and do the other side. The other thing has to do with the orientation of the hips, right? As I said, it's okay for that back hip to kind of turn forward a little bit. We don't want it to turn forward too much because now, you know, we come down here, and if this hip turns forward too much, now we're in a different posture. Now we're in sort of almost an intense side stretch here, stretching the hamstring. That's not the intention of Trikonasana, yeah? So we do want to keep the hips oriented in this direction, and but again, some of us have some, you know, limitations with mobility, so it's okay for that top hip to turn forward a little bit if it has to, yeah, as you come down. At the same time, though, let that front thigh rotate outward, so it's rotating on the bone outward to keep that kneecap, that front kneecap, in line with your second toe, yeah? And again, the bottom side body is long. I'm elongating, right? Creating space between that right hip, now it's my right hip, my bottom hip, and my armpit, yeah? Trying to keep some length. And again, that external rotation of the shoulder. And then reaching the fingertips up to come back to upright. So I hope this helped with your Trikonasana alignment. Namaste.